Hey everyone, this is Peggy with Sweet Tea Makery and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a fun Halloween wreath. We're going to try to do it at a little bit more budget friendly. We're going to use this 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame that I found recently. Actually, it's black. Then, usually they're green, but anyway, I happened to find one that was black. So I went ahead and got a little bit started with adding my pipe cleaners, and I put 9 around the bottom and 6 around the top. That's just, you can do 10 and 7, whatever, but this is just the method that I chose to use for this particular wreath. So the unusual part that we're going to use for our sign is we're going to use this it was Walmart cookie tray, and I saw that. I thought it was cute as could be, and I thought it was like the perfect size for a sign. It does have a coating on it. I'm not sure that it's UV coated, but I know that it says that it's for decoration only, but since it is a cookie tray, I'm sure it's food safe. But again, this is budget friendly, and if you prefer to use a different type sign, I'll put my affiliate link down here for this gorgeous sign. It would work. It's almost, it's just slightly smaller, and I have a awesome person that I get my signs, most of my signs from, and I'll put the link down in my description, but isn't that one cool? But today I wanted to try using this cookie tray. They have a variety of different kinds that you can pick up, round and square. I just wanted to particularly do this one. So it's a pretty thin metal, and what I did was I went ahead and pre-cut. I used my metal hole punch, and I have all of my supplies will be listed in my description. But I have my metal punch. It easily punched a hole here and here. You can do one here and here too, but I think these two will work and hold it securely onto my wreath. So I'm going to put that aside while we work on the actual wreath. So for this is the method that I started using last year. I usually use a 21-inch and a 10-inch to do a double poof. We're going to do a double poof and a ruffle on this wreath. But this is one, since I had leftover 5-inch, I wanted to try this. I did, if you want to take a look at how I did my witch wreath on my YouTube channel, you can look and see it's a double poof witch wreath where I did the same 10-inch and 5-inch. But you can certainly use whatever type of poof methods you would like. This is the one that I'm going to work with. And, oops, sorry, I'll drop that. Okay, so I just want to make a little notation real quick. Y'all, my craft room's a little bit messy, so if we just want to take a look really quick, I'm using my, you can see all my Halloween projects and Thanksgiving projects. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I'm using my Susie's mesh roller. I hope you can get a good view of that. I just love this. It's perfect for this technique. It keeps it from getting just all over the place. And I also use the clips here on either side and give just a little bit, about an inch room, so that you see it doesn't move around so much. It really works great to do that, to take the time to do that, everyone. So let me just adjust my camera back so that we can get everything in the picture, and we'll get started. So I do have some ribbons that we'll be using as well, and I have one bow already made, but I may make a second bow. If we run out of time on this video, I'll do a second bow video just showing how to do a close-up of how I made my bow. If you want to take a look at the one that I've already pre-made, we can do that now. And I kind of chose to go, just needs to be fluffed a little, but you can get the idea of of how it looks. So we may end up doing another one if that one's too large, and I'll put that one somewhere else, maybe on the mailbox, to kind of go with my theme. Okay, so I'm just using a metallic silver and a black mesh, and I'm going to get it started. I'm just going to gather some of that up, and I think I'm going to start, what did I have it like this? I think I'm going to start at this one here. Now some of them may have gotten a little loose because I did this the other day in a kind of a hurry, so you can always just tighten them up just a tad. Hopefully they're all where I want them. But when I first do it, I tend to go through my hoop here. I kind of push it through because I want it to be on the back side of where I zip tie it in. And I'm not going to go into the actual pipe cleaner. That's what I will use to when I come back around. So right now I'm going to just go below it, maybe in the center one. We're going to flip it over real quick and come up and zip tie it. So we'll just, and you know, you can use a smaller zip tie. I just happen to grab this one out of my stash, so it may be a little long, but that's alright, it'll clip off. And again, I'm going to try to capture that out a little bit, the end out, just so that it doesn't slip through. And I'm just going to pull that as tight as I can get it. Sorry y'all, I have someone's mowing, or not someone, but our neighbor's mowing the grass, and I do have an allergy, unfortunately, to grass. So I'm starting to sniffle. Alright, we're going to trim that off just a tad right there. Put that in the trash. And then we'll get started. So I'm going to flip this back over, and you can see that it's nice and secure. And then we'll get going. And again, we're doing the poof method first. I think I'm going to do, let's gather some of this up. I think I'm going to do, well, I had this flipped around. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Maybe 11 inch. I think I'm going to do an 11 inch. Not quite 12, but we'll do that. Okay. Poof, and we'll just get started on it. And I tend to fluff them out a little bit as I go, not a ton, but I just like getting it kind of fluffed. There we go. We got our first one started, and again, we're going to go about there. Open that one up, put this one in. Hopefully I'm getting it tight enough where I want it. I just do about two to three twists. Again, sorry y'all for my throat clearing. Here we go, we're pulling it a little bit more than this one got. Let's go back and fix that one. And that's the poof. Now it's a little bit see-through now, but I think it'll be fine once we add in our ruffles and our ribbons. And I have some cute ribbons, y'all, that I picked up in a variety of places on sale. So as usual, everything's tried to be budget friendly. Some that I got from a local craft store. Yep, There we go. Again, we're doing this poof method, and I'm just curling it under. Let me point out one thing while we're working on this project, is that when I placed my deco mesh, when I placed it on the, that one's sliding, I'm going to have to fix that just a little bit, y'all. Didn't do it quite tight enough. That's what happens when you have arthritis in your fingers. Let me go and make this just a little bit tighter because it's just sliding. There we go. Got that going. Is that when you place your mesh on the roller, make sure that it's coming off where it's overhand and not underhand. I hope that makes sense. So in other words, I'll show you an example. Make sure that when the deco mesh is coming off, it's coming off in this direction versus coming off under, because the poof method works much better, especially if you're a beginner. Sometimes you just don't think about those small details that really make a difference. And it does tend to stick a tiny bit. Again, I'm coughing, y'all. Pardon me. I hope I don't cough all the way through this video. It'll stick a little bit, but not as much as if you were not using the mesh roller. But if you don't have the mesh roller, that's fine too. It works. I just want to just say what a blessing that Susie Brown invented this roller, because it's awesome. Y'all, I'm going to have to take a sip just so I can hopefully not cough through this whole tutorial. Pardon me. Sorry. And again, I'm measuring, but it's 11 inches. You can go up to 12. I think 10 is a bit too small. If you were using a 12-inch or smaller wreath frame, a 10-inch poof would work great. But with this 14-inch, I like between 11 and a 12-inch poof. I think it just works so much better. And again, we're going all along. And you can use any type of pipe cleaner. I just know that the white and the gray is going to go with my color scheme. You can use black. I, of course, wouldn't use any colors that wouldn't kind of blend in with your mesh and ribbons. But white is pretty standard and does easily hide. And again, this is going to be a kind of a tone-on-tone white, silver, and black wreath, so I was perfectly fine with using that color. Let me just move that one out of the way. And I'm trying to pull this as tight as I can. So if you're just joining me, let me know where you're watching from. I would love to know where my little videos are going and who's watching them. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can do that now, and you can tap that red bell as well, which will notify you of any new content that I upload. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so once I get to 1,000 subscribers, y'all, I can go live. So for now, I'm just videotaping these and just trying to capture that. I think I've got it switched around just a tad bit. There we go. Oh, sorry, y'all. Got to switch that out just a tad. Okay, so you can see that's where I first started, and we're going to cross over to the top. But if I get 1,000 subscribers, then I can go live, and there is a way to go live, but it's a lot more complicated, and at this moment I just didn't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to go over here, And I'm just going to cross over. I'm not cutting it. I'm just going to cross over into this. Make sure I measure that right. Yep. Into this first top one. Making sure that I'm going to pull it nice and tight and leave plenty of room for my ribbon and other mesh. I just like this particular way of doing it. My favorite is the 21 inch. I like doing that one. I just got to get my hand up in there, guys. There we go. And just make sure I'm pulling it. Okay. And I'm using leftover deco mesh. Sorry guys, got to measure that out. Yep. For this project, so let's pray that we have plenty to go around. We only have 6 poofs that we have to do, so hopefully it'll work. And again, I'm pulling as I go, poofing or fluffing as I go. There we go. Pull that out. Wow. And you may have to go back around and kind of fluff it out just a little bit. But I usually kind of wait to do that when I, let's see, it's about right, yep. After I get my other mesh on there and my ribbons on there. I think we're just going to make it. Hopefully. Make sure my poofs are up and that's pressed down really good. Yep, there we go. As you can see, I think it just does a nice job. Now you could do a thicker, heavier mesh, you know, whatever mesh you choose to use. I just happen to have these on hand, and so I'm using those. If you have any questions, please post them down below. I'd be glad to try to answer them for you. Or if you have any tips and tricks you want to share, post those. Okay, y'all. Let me just get back. And I'm using my shorter little cutting mat just because I'm at my a little bit shorter smaller crafting table until my crafting room upstairs gets finished. We're working on both a detached garage outside, and once that's completed we can move some of that stuff to that area temporarily, and then hopefully finish up my craft studio upstairs. And let me just make sure 8 and 10. We're on our last one, and then we'll trim it off. I think it did a beautiful job. Sorry guys, let me get this twisted a little bit for myself. There we go. Just so that I'm going under. I hope that y'all can see this. I'll show you a little bit close up once we get done. There we go, pulling it tight. Okay. And we'll puff this one out just a little bit. There we go. We can just adjust those as we go and see how that looks. Now, I wasn't, you know, if it was not monochromatic, you would really be able to tell, you know, just how beautiful this method is. And again, it's using a 5.5 inch and a 10 inch. I love using that. So if you have any, don't throw it away, because if you look at my which one, I used a contrasting color. and it really turns out cool. But I was trying to go for the monochromatic look. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take about 4 to 5 inches. And I got me a handy dandy extra pipe cleaner here just in case. We're going to take another zip tie. But first we're going to cut about 5 inches. Yeah, might as well. 5 inches off our roller. And I still have some left over, even though I'm using that one. Okay. So I'm going to actually probably just find my hole in here. Oh, guys. And pull that one over. There we go. That's the one I wanted to pull over. A little bit, yep. Okay. Now, I had pushed it out of the way. So I'm going to tuck this in through this gap here. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'll pull this one up. I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to, oops, I'm going to capture all of that. Okay, and then we're going to go underneath here. I think I've got it captured yet. Then we're going to zip tie that off. And if you feel like it and you have enough deco mesh, you can certainly go back around if you want to. If you want to give it even a more full look. But we're going to trash that. And then we're going to trim this off. Just a little bit closer, give it a little neater look. Okay, so now we've got our deco mesh here. Yeah, that looks nice. What do you think? I think it came out really good. It's a nice poof to it. And then we can start adding some of our curls and ribbons. So just to save some time, I've already done some of the sets of ribbons for the bottom row. So I'll go ahead and get those placed in, and then we will do the top, showing you how I curl the mesh and add the ribbons. But I'm just trying to save a little bit of time here and go ahead and get started with that one. So let me just get back to, yeah, I'm just trying to look to see where I may end up putting my bow. I'm probably going to put my bow down here. And we'll do our bow last, but I think I'm probably going to start right here. Okay, so just to show you what I've done a Woodland Ruffle, and I've also done the, I've twisted them, just kind of tied them. So I did a Woodland Ruff method and then added my ribbons to it as well. And I've just twist tied it around here. So let me just show you. So as you can see, I'm using a black and white stripe, and I had this pretty polka dot with glitter, if you can see that. It has a glitter dot and this really cool ribbon here, which actually looks like this, and then once I put it down in, then you can stretch it open. It reminds me of sort of like a spider web. So we're going to start on this bottom row first and just add that in. And again, I've done this bottom row already. And I'm just going to puff it up. there we go. And then do our ribbons. Reminds me of a spider web. And I've done 3 different types of deco mesh, as you'll see here, and 3 different types of ribbon sets. So the next one I'm going to grab, where I've used just a white metallic, and then I chose this Harlequin black and white glittered ribbon, and then the metallic spider ribbon. And this is actually a 1.5 inch ribbon, and this is a 1 inch ribbon. So I've kind of just mixed it up. You don't always have to do all, all 2.5 or all 2.5 and 1.5 mixed. You can mix your ribbons up. And I cut my deco mesh. I just decided to try 25 inches, so that's what I did. But I know 30 inches makes a beautiful woodland ruffle as well as just a ruffle, but that's just what I chose to do. Sorry guys, I think I'm going to do the larger one this way, and we can always fluff our ribbons, but that's what I have so far. And I think, as you see, it's starting to really cover that. It looks so nice. And my third ribbon in deco mesh woodland woodland ruffle is I took a 10.5 inch silver and used this pretty lace with a skull and this key, piano key ribbon. If you want to see a little bit better, you can see the skull here and the lace. So I'm using 3, and that way, the reason why I did was 9 on the bottom and 6 on the top, because I was using a set of 3, and I wanted it to come out equally. And I really think it still looks just as full, so you don't really miss that extra one. Plus, you're going to put a bow, and I really think it doesn't make that much difference. As you can see, it's just a personal choice. There's no set rules when you're doing your wreaths. It's whatever you're the designer, so you get to pick whatever you want. But y'all let me know if you've ever used this method. I hadn't seen too many people use it. I know I've seen some people use where they use 2 10-inch, but I haven't really seen anyone use the 10-inch and the 5-inch or the 21-inch. And I have 2 tutorials on my YouTube channel showing both those methods, where you take the 21-inch and 10-inch, and that turns out just beautiful. And then this method here, which is the 10-inch and the 5-inch. Sorry, y'all. Looking for my other. There it is. My other one. And everybody does them, does this differently. It just depends on what you want to do. And I'm going to trim these off. Some people do them right away. I don't do them right away. I come back and do them. There we go. Sometimes you got to adjust your poofs just slightly as you go. But you can see how it's coming out. I like it. I think it looks really cool. Gives it really a lot of fullness. And there's my little spider web ribbon. It just kind of gives it that kind of creepy, spidery look to me. That's my personal opinion. And you see it's starting to get full. I really like it. I personally like it a lot. Okay, we got one more in here, and sometimes you have to fluff out that poof Poof or Poof. I don't know how you pronounce it, but, and I'm just going to get this out. So sometimes you have to kind of like just adjust it a tad bit. There we go, that one's. And we need a white one. Sorry, I threw these on the floor over here, y'all, just to do it in a hurry. Okay, so again, we're alternating, so we're doing the white one now, and then the next one will be silver. And sometimes you have to go back through and fluff up the poofs and these. You know, I pull them up just so it gives it, you know, gives it a little bit of height. I'm a fluffer. I love to fluff, so, okay. And sometimes you have to just kind of adjust your ribbons as you go as well, especially when you do it in advance. I did it in advance. You don't have to. You can do it, you know, as you go. I just happened to do this bottom one because I knew it was going to take a little while for me to get this done, and I didn't want to take too much of your time. Alright, awesome. Okay, now we need a silver one. Sometimes they call this gray. I call it silver, but it is sort of a gray. And y'all, I'm just fluffing up my ribbon a little bit before I place it down in here. And you can always take these pipe cleaners off here, the ones where if you do it in advance. I have to stop and start a lot sometimes, so that's why I went ahead and also, you know, kind of just added that in. There we go. And we'll pull that up. So because I have to help my child a lot of times with things and help my family with things. So sometimes I get started on a project and I just actually really have to stop. So here's what it's looking like so far. Y'all let me know if y'all like this idea. I just love the way that this poof method comes out. It's just one of my favorites. So we're back to our striped black and white stripe and polka dot ribbons. I'm going to push this one down. And y'all, you can accent this with all kinds of things. I have a few things that I might do, but you could certainly put glitter balls down in here, spiders, actual really spiders, those would be cool. And sometimes I'll make my wreath and have it, and then I'll say, oh, I think I can add this to it. So don't be afraid to go and add things to, you know, if you don't do it initially, don't be afraid to go back and add things and just take another photo of it or let it sit for just a little bit and let it sit, you know, sit and you take a look at it. That's what I do sometimes. I think I lost my ribbons, did I? On this one? Huh. Okay, I got my black and white. And I got my white, but I think I might have missed my ribbon. Uh-oh, y'all. Look, I got this one. Sorry. Huh. Well, we can always cut another one. No worries. We got plenty of ribbon here. So what I'm saying is that my white one, which I do this with. Somehow I've misplaced that, but that's all right. We've got plenty of ribbon that we can cut another section of that. So we'll show you just how I do it. So here is the poof and curl that I did here in white. And so now I need to add the Harlequin and the spider ribbon. I cut these. I just cut mine at 12 inches. I was fine. If you want more of your ribbon to show, you can cut it at 14. If you know, kind of want your mesh and your you know, other things to kind of show, then you can do that as well. Okay guys, I'm just going to quickly just twist tie this so it goes. Actually, I don't even have to do that. I can just do it. I can just add it. I'm going to trim this off real quick because I don't need it. And we're just going to go in and add this into that. Then we'll add the ribbon. There we go. Okay. And again, I pull this up just to give it so that it looks good. And then we're going to add the ribbon in there. And I'm going to have to cut another set of ribbons, but that's fine for the top. That's no worries. And again, I'm going to come back and trim these off so that they don't look all that, you know, conspicuous. When you're using the pipe cleaners, this is just my opinion, I usually trim them off and curl them down, but if you're using a wreath form like this one, see how it has that glitter to it, and on your stems here, that kind of adds to the design. So sometimes I don't trim those off, but when it's usually pipe cleaners, I do. So my last one's going to be silver, and we'll be adding that one in here. And this is my last on the bottom, I should note. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that up slightly and pull this one up slightly in between those poofs and get my ribbons going all in the right direction. There we go. And you can always flip these up as you go. So just to kind of give you an idea of how it looks, it's nice and full, y'all, nice and full. And I'm just going to tell you that this is 18, so this is going to end up being about a 22 inch, this direction, 22 inches, maybe a little bit more by the time it's said and done, because this bottom, this here is 18 inches and it's going over at least another 2, so about a 22. I'd say it's about a 22. Okay, I've got to pull my ribbons over here. I'm going to pull them to the other side. And we may end up cutting more ribbon, we'll see. So I can do the curls and show you how we add that to this. So I've got to do, there's 6, remember there's 6 on top, so I've got to add that Deco Mesh Woodland Ruffles and the ribbons to that. So I've got to shift this over. We'll just kind of shift it this way. Brush that off just a tad. I got my little handy dandy glue gun, which may be in the way, we'll see. Hopefully not. Okay, so since I've started with this black and white here, I think I'm going to go with start with silver for my first row, and then we'll alternate. So I've already pre-cut these at 25 inches right here, and I'm going to place something heavy right here, just so that it stays. And then we're going to do that Woodland Ruffle curl and ruffle, so, or Woodland Ruffle. Really, you can add any type of Deco Mesh ruffle to this double poof. Pardon me, y'all, I'm just trying to make sure that I don't start coughing again. Okay, so since we're using the silver, we'll be using the piano key ribbon and the skull. So I like to just start off, actually I'll start off here. I like to do 3 curls, and we'll just fold it over. 1, 2, and 3, and then, oops, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Let's just fold this over. I'm going to try it one more time. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to use my clip, and we're going to turn it around. Sorry, I'll grab it on me. We're going to flip it over, excuse me, and do the same thing. 1, 2, and 3, and then we're just going to walk it up. And as you can see, these are going to be the ruffles. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. Now I'm going to add the ruffle, and then I'm going to add the ribbon. That's just the way that I do it. You can add the ribbons to it, whatever works for you. You can add the ribbons to it afterwards, but I usually just do 1 or 2 little twists, fluff it up. Let me see how that goes. And then we'll grab our ribbon. So in the silver, we're using the piano key and the skull ribbon, and it even is glittery. Oh, I just love it. But you see the skull, and then this is what they call the piano key. They're all cut at 12 inches. I find my center, then I gather it. I'll pull it down just a tad. Kind of do your little bird thing, and then we're going to add it. Okay. I kind of like doing the bigger one out. Okay, so a lot of times you'll open this up to a full X. So because I'm using a larger sign, instead of doing a full X, I'm just continuing what I've done here, which is, let me just show you. So instead of doing a full X, I'm pulling them out like this, because when I go to add my sign in there, I want my ribbons to be seen, because the sign's going to cover up anything if it's going in this direction. So that's why I'm just continuing that same pattern. So my next one's going to be the black and white Woodland Ruffle. I'm just going to pull that one here, and we will gather that one up as well. It's easier if you place something handy dandy here. Just trying to keep my ribbons, you guys. I think I might just set them over to the side here, make it easier for me. I'm just going to push that up out of the way, and we're going to do 3 curls. 1, 2, 3, and clip. Hopefully one day soon I'll have my studio done, and I'll have my bigger table I can use. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to walk it up. I have a much bigger crafting table upstairs, and it's just much easier to work with, but that's okay. You do what you got to do. Deal with what you have. Okay, so we're going to find that next pipe cleaner and go in. And of course, you're going to mash this down just a little bit, but that's, we can pull it back up. That's just going to happen. All right, y'all, just got to make sure we get a nice tight twist. Then we'll come back, fluff these up, pull them forward. And on the stripe one, we did the polka dot, and the mesh ribbon. So I'll show you. This is the polka dot with the mesh, and this is the one that we stretch out, remember. Now on this one I do not do the dovetail because it just makes a mess, and I don't think it really does anything. Once you stretch it out, it actually looks kind of like a spider web to me, so it doesn't need to be dovetailed as far as the mesh ribbon is concerned. And again, if we run out of time, here's where I'm going to stretch it. See, I'm stretching that open, and I'm just pulling it forward down here. And I'm just stretching it open, and as you can see how it looks like a spider web? Okay. So we've got the silver and this one, and now I think we let's see, what have we done here? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've already done that one, right? So we've got a silver white stripe, so we need to do a silver. Just don't want to mess it up. We've got silver for our next one. Now I'm putting this here, and I know it takes time. That's why I tried to I thought I would save time by already having the other ones done like this, so the bottom row, so hopefully I did save time. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to clip it and flip it, and again 1, 2, and 3, and walk it up. And we got our ruffle. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here we go. We're going to pull this up. Okay, and again, I stop and take the time to fluff this up just because I want to, because I like doing that. So that is the silver is the piano key, and the skull, right? Is that right? Oops, what did I do? Did I mess up? Uh-oh. Yeah, because the white one is, okay, sorry. Whew. Are y'all like that? Get a squirrel moment and you think, oh my god, I messed it up. Especially when you're talking and showing how others to do that. I tend to have a tendency of doing that. Easily done. Even the best do that. Even the ones that's been doing it for years, I've seen them accidentally miss one. Okay, I'm going to twist that. Place our ribbon down in there. Give it a twist. Yeah. And again, I'm not quite doing the X because I'm going to put that large sign in here. And you can always come back and fluff those. Okay, so the next one is the white. And as you can see, you see how it's looking? I think it's looking awesome personally. Do you see it? I love it. I love that. I don't know. I just love it. So we're going to do white. Hopefully you guys, I didn't mess up on which ones I got. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully. Yep. Sometimes you cut too much mesh and sometimes you don't. There it is. 1, 2, I got 3 left. Okay, so we're going to do the white now, going back to the white. I hope I did that right, guys. Goodness gracious. Did I skip one? let me just look. This is so easy to do when you're sitting and looking and talking. So I did a silver, a stripe. Oh goodness, I think I should have done a white. I think I should have done a white one here. Let's pull it. Did I do 2 silvers? A silver, a stripe, and a silver. I sure did. That just goes to show you that it's never perfect. And we're just going to set this one aside. When I do that, I always keep a scrap. Like I was telling you before, I keep a scrap piece of pipe cleaner, because if I catch myself doing that, then I can always easily just hold on to it. I keep a spare one, you know, that I can just twist tie it here real quick and keep it to the side. Sorry guys, I messed up. This just goes to show you that nobody's perfect. Okay, so now we need to do the white one. So I don't need this scissors yet. Put the scissors up here, hopefully they'll stay. So now I need to do, that's what I need to do, is do a white one in the gray one. So I've got this gray one here. Now I need to do one here. And it needs to be white. That's why I was seeing that it was kind of funny. Okay, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do our curl. 1, 2, 3 curls, and clip, flip, flip and flip, and do our second curl. 1, 2, 3. We're going to walk it up. Sorry guys, we're going to walk it up all the way up to that clip. Now we're rocking. I was wondering what was a little bit off about it. Okay, y'all, we're just doing just a twist here. So on the white one, we are doing the Harlequin, and of course I'm messing up my ribbons. That happens. We're doing the Harlequin and the spider. That's what we do with the white ones. Sorry, gotta find my ties. There they are. Pull it forward this way. Okay. Push our ribbons in and give it a good twist. And again, I'm not doing that full X. I apologize, guys, for messing up. But it happens, and hopefully you catch it in time. Excuse me. Okay, so we did a silver, a black and white, and a white. So now here's where we want to do the silver. And again, this poof is going to be full in here, but we can always adjust it open. So now we need to do silver, black and white, white. So we need to go back and do that silver, which is the one that we set aside, that we had to pull out. I'm going to take that spare one and release it, keep it over to the side, and we're going to place that one already in there. Sorry guys. There. Just trying to pull it where it's nice and tight. There. There it is. Okay. And we're just going to fluff that, and just make sure that our ribbons are pulled. And again, we'll fluff these, you know, once you get it done and ready to go. If you're going to sell yours, you can go back and trim off any little areas that you might do it, or if you're gifting it, or even your own personal use. I still fluff mine just as much as if I were sending it to a client. Okay, so I've got one more here. Okay, sorry, I'll got to scoot this over. Move my spare back up. And we're going to go back through and do this one. Okay. Let's get it. 1, 2, 3, and clip. Clip and flip. That's what I say. Clip and flip. 1, 2, and 3, and walk it up. And like I say, this is only 25 inches in here. I think it's fine. There's no need. You know, if you really want it to be puffy, you can do the 30 inches. It's just whatever your preference is. I just happened to go with the 25. I was happy with that. And so I'm just sticking with it. Sticking with that one. Okay, guys. Twist that a little bit. Pull it up. Maybe pushing down our poofs. Make sure I got that forward. There we go. Okay. So for the black and white, of course, we used the polka dot and this one, which is the mesh, stretchy mesh. And again, you can pull out the mesh now, but I always just do it afterwards. So that felt kind of loose. Did I loosen that up? Yeah. Okay, well, we'll just do it that way. Sorry. It felt a little loose, but it really wasn't. It's just my imagination running away with me. Okay, there's the polka dot. Here again, I'm going to pull that stretchy ribbon out. Kind of gives that spidery, webby-ish feeling to me. And it actually comes in silver. I have it in a silver as well. Okay, now we're going to do the white again. We've got the white poof. There's one and this, yep. So we're going to do it here. I don't know why I cut so many. I cut more extra mesh than I needed. I guess because I was going to redo the whole thing. Okay. This one's kind of cut off a funky way. Let's see if I got one a little straighter. I don't know, I just don't like that one. Let's try this one. That feels a little bit better. And again, I'm going to just push this up just a tad. Get my table short. 1, 2, and 3. Clip and flip. Clip and flip. Yeah, that's a little better. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to walk it up. Find our next opening. Guys, I think actually I just got to cut one more set of ribbons and then we're good. Which is the ones that goes in the white. And again, we'll have to fluff these up. But the white is the Harlequin and spider. So that's what we've got to pull out here. I've got my spider one here and my Harlequin one. Okay, I'm just going to shift this up out of the way for a moment. Let's just sit it up so I can get my scissors out and take another sip. And we'll cut our last ribbon tail. Again, I cut these at 12. Cut it at 12. I fold mine over, and then I fold it on itself again, and then I do my dovetail. See? That's how it looks. And we're going to just put this back. Might as well while we got it going, so it doesn't go down, roll around on us. I just keep my little pins in there, and then we'll pull it. Oh, sorry, wrong direction. Okay, I'm going to do this at 12. Let's go ahead and put this ribbon up, and we'll double check everything. Make sure that we did follow the pattern that we wanted. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm just a crazy crafter. I make all kinds of things, wreaths, Dollar Tree, non-Dollar Tree, and grapevines. Oops, and I gotta dovetail that. Grapevine wreaths and centerpieces, floral centerpieces, and just home decor, just fun little craft projects. Food crafts, I like to do that as well. Always like to add things. I love gift wrapping, so we'll be doing that coming up, some gift wrapping ideas. Those are some of my favorite things, but I do like Halloween too. So okay, we're going to pull this back and add this ribbon in, and then we'll add our sign in. Well, after we go back and trim. After we go back and trim these off. Okay, so I have it now. I think it looks good. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. I love the look of it. It's nice and full. And I really, in person especially, I really love the poof method. It's one of my favorites. And plus it also helps to hold your sign up in the center. It helps give it some height up in there. And again, you can go back and fluff your ribbon tails. So we're going to add the sign as soon as I find it. I'm going to add my sign first because it's just going really in the center. As you see, because I pulled these out, you see you can still see your ribbons, and you don't have to worry about this sign really hiding those nice fun ribbons. If you had done the X, half of this would have been hidden. So yeah, I gotta pull my chair up. My chair's going down a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna stand up for this part. So with this, remember, we talked about it. It's a cookie sheet. It's $1.98, and I will take that off. It's a $1.98 cookie sheet from Walmart, and I just thought it was just a really cool pattern. They had a couple of different ones, and you know, you can take the time if you want. It comes off pretty easy. Just peel it super slow, and it comes off. And okay, so we just want to see where we want to place it. I'm going to be putting a bow. I think I'm going to put my bow here to the bottom. You know, you could do a bow here and one here, but so I think what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to find where I want to place my sign on here. I think either way is fine. I like the spiders coming up on either side here, so let's do it this way. Okay, so now you could take some pipe cleaners if you want and go through the holes, but and you can get black floral wire. I just happen to have the silver, and I'm doing a good bit, so I have plenty of amount. I'm going to cut 2 pieces. It really disappears, but because this is sort of a silver and black theme, I think it's not really going to make a difference whether you use black wire or silver wire. So I'm just going to go through this just like this. Sorry guys. Just like this, and we're going to twist it. I'm doubling up. So you see, I've got this. And you know, you might see it there initially again, and you can still come back with a black pipe cleaner and actually come back up and go over the top of that and hide it. I didn't bring a black pipe cleaner in here with me, or I would use one. But the wire does seem to keep it pretty steady. And again, it's a black and silver. It happens to be black and silver pattern, so I really feel like it really does a good job of being kind of invisible. Okay. Now, I actually have one of those yarn needles, plastic needles that you use for inserting your signs. I have one of those, but okay, y'all, I'm going to trim these off. Okay, so I've got my sign ready. Okay, see how we're going to do that? But I think since I am going to be seeing some of these pipe cleaners, I'm going to set the sign aside for just 1 second, probably behind me, and I'm going to go through and trim off those excess and tuck them under, especially on the top part. Because I think that the sign's going to get in the way if I don't do that right now. And I'm just tucking it down. There we go. Okay. Got one more. Right here. Remember, we did 6 on top, and you see, I think it looks full. I don't know, what do y'all, I mean, I think it looks full. I don't think you need 7 up there, honestly. And again, I'm not doing a full X. I'm not doing that either. Okay, so I'm pulling those and pushing them back just as much as I can, because I want to expose that nice pretty, and then I'll trim the bottom edge ones after we get this on here. Okay, so if you had the needle, which I don't have, this would be so much easier, but since I don't have it, we're going to go another method, which is I'm actually kind of going to go down inside, and then I'm going to come across, and I'm just going to kind of go in between that ruffle and that poof, and here we go, and I'm just going to push it down, reach it with my finger. So we're just going to kind of go old school, and this will really, if you don't have one of those needles, you need to know there is another method to doing this. I'm pulling it up, but I don't want to pull it down too much, so I want to pull it up. Just make sure I've got it where it's not sliding on me. I feel like, y'all, it's like it's sliding on me a little bit. I don't know. Alright, let's try it again. Make sure I'm going in the direction that I want to go in. And I'm trying to weave in between that. There we go. Okay, sorry. I went. There we go. And right now I'm not pulling it super tight. I'm just going to loosely do it. That way I can always come back and tighten it. I want to make sure I get my ribbons and all of that up out of the way. But I have a yarn needle, you know, one of those ones. I actually get mine. You can get them anywhere. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Walmart. I usually get 2 a pack, and I get them from the craft store. I'll put where I get mine from, because really, honestly, I don't go through a lot of them, so I don't need a lot of them. So I don't, you know, I just pick them up locally. And I can pick up, you know, you can get the 6-inch there as well, but, you know, there's lots of people that sell them. I just happen to find mine. There we go, got our sign on. And we'll cut the excess off once we make sure that we have this exactly the way we want it. And I'm just twisting it around the back, as you can see. See? And then we'll pull our... Yeah, see, I like that. It kind of, when you do that method, I don't know if you can tell, but when you, and you can punch holes here too if you want to, but I think it's nice and secure. See? It ain't coming off. But I love seeing the ribbon kind of has that kind of embraces the sign. So I'm fluffing it out so you can see. I'm not too worried about this one because of it, but you know, if you need to pull the ruffles out as well, you just keep working with it till you see the way that you have it, the way you want it to look, and the poofs, you know. And again, if you don't like it sliding back and forth, you can punch another hole. It's just a little not quite level, but that's because I'm pulling on it. There we go. Okay. And then we've got our signs, and I just really wanted to showcase these ribbons here. There we go. I love it. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of give you a look-see of how that looks. There we go. And I may have to pull this one down just a little bit. We'll see. But I think it looks pretty level. And you can stop there. If you don't want to do anything more, you can stop there. But I do have a bow. And I can use that on a smaller project. So I do have a bow. I want to make sure that it's not too big. For it. So let me just take a look. Let me fluff it a little bit. Make sure I've got it fluffed out. This is my bow, y'all. I used a 4-inch Harlequin and my 1.5 inch. I just wanted to kind of give it a bow tie look. Like his head has a bow tie look. And like you can actually put the bow like right here. Okay? And that would be super, super cute. But I pre-made it, so it may be bigger than I want. And when I do that, if I make a bow and I don't use it, I just use it as another accent piece. Like on my mailbox or on my front porch light. Let's see. Now I may go in, and I added this nice trim here, but I may go in and just add that bow. I kind of like it like that. I don't know, I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me flip it around so you can see it. So here is what it would look like at the bottom. I kind of like it like that. Maybe not two bows. Okay. Sorry. Flipping it around. I kind of like it. It looks like he has a bow tie when I do that. Okay. When I do it like that, right underneath his chin, it's kind of like he's wearing a bow tie. And that's just me, my opinion. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is add this bow to the bottom. And I will go on and make a separate video on how I made this bow, because I'm going to make a smaller one just like this to coordinate with my porch lamp, my porch light. Since my wreath will be on my front door, I thought it would be cute to add a bow underneath my porch light that sits beside my door, and then it kind of coordinates all together. So before I add that bow, I'm going to go off, just like I said, and trim these pipe cleaners. We're going to trim the ones around the bottom. Trim and tuck. And again, you can do this as you go. I do it whatever way I feel like that day. And I didn't do it today, but it doesn't take that long to go and trim. There's only 9 on the bottom, so it's not going to be any big deal. Gives you a chance to fluff out your bow, your ribbons as you go. And let's find that one. There it is. Tuck that one under pretty good. I don't want to accidentally trim my ribbons. There we go. Okay. And again, we're just going to go around and finish that. I got to trim my wire. Sorry guys, let me trim this wire off real quick too while I'm at it. There we go. Let's get our other tie. I thought this cookie sheet was a really good idea. And honestly, I know a lot of the other signs come with the UV coating, which is awesome, but I usually only do my wreaths it's only going to sit out here for, less than 30 days. And if you put it on a covered porch, it's really going to be very well protected. Oops, I think I might have loosened that up too much, y'all. I sure did. Trimmed it. That's all right. We'll fix that here in a minute. I trimmed it too much. Shouldn't have trimmed it that much. Whoops. Okay. I just didn't feel like I was that much concerned, but you can get a clear spray if you want to spray the sign. If you feel comfortable doing that. I just don't do it because I just feel like it was, there we go. Alright, now we can go back. Now I'm just fixing this side because I trimmed it too close to the, make sure, yeah, I got it. I just want to make sure I got the sign on there properly. Okay, yeah, I don't need to trim it any more than that. Okay. That one's good. That's what it is. Apparently, I'm twisting separately. Yeah, I want to pull it in there nice and good. Alright, trim it off just a tad. I'm just fixing the wire for the sign and tucking it around so that it just doesn't work itself loose, you guys. See, it's nice and tight now. There. Okay. So again, we've got these ribbons We can always take these off if we feel like they're in the way of our bow. But I tried to do it kind of at a slight angle so we can still see this one and this one. Now I'm going to add my big bow to this, and then we'll take a look. And again, I'm going to make a separate video doing a black and white Halloween bow so that you'll know which one goes with this one. And I'm just fluffing my tails out. And again, you can use your yarn needle, knitting needle, but this is a pretty good little tinsel rope that I have that happened to go with my theme, and it's going to be super easy just to pull that in right there. No big deal. We're going to work it in and then come across the bottom. I'm trying to get where it has sort of a kind of a bow tie look. There we go. And we'll just fluff, fluff, fluff. Then we're going to work this one. We'll flip our tails. I'm just flipping the tail, guys, just trying to get this side on. And we're going to go in between our ruffles and our poofs, just to get that working up around there. There, got it. Okay, I'm going to flip this over so y'all can see. See how I have it, where I went around it? There we go. And I'm not going to trim it off yet until I flip it over. And you see how nice this comes out? It comes out super nice. See how the bottom and the back is? Now, I'll show you how I fix that as well. There. Okay. My bow isn't pulling too far down into the wreath itself. And again, you're going to go back through and fluff this. It kind of, to me, looks like I've given him a bow tie. And we're just going to fluff out the tails, and I'll show a full picture of my wreath as we finish it. Guys, I hope we didn't go too long. It's a little longer than I wanted, but I think in the end it was really worth it. So I'm going to lift you up just so you see, you can kind of get an overall look at the wreath. We'll take a look at the sides, the sign, and the bow. So it does look like he has a bow tie. I really love that, y'all. And I'm going to post a nice, good picture of this as my cover page. And I'm going to post this on my Facebook page. So if you want to go and follow me on Facebook, I'm at Sweet Tea Makery on all my social media. But I'll post a nice, pretty picture of the full wreath, nice up and close. But on the YouTube channel, of course, you know, we'll have a cover page of the finished wreath. But if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can do that now. And you can tap the red bell, which also gives you notification when I've uploaded new content. And I thank you for joining me today. I hope that you try out using this cookie sheet, or cookie tray, actually, not cookie sheet, but cookie tray as an alternative to your signs. I thought it was darling. They had one that had a pumpkin on it. But if you wanted to take a step further, Walmart did have some really cool Halloween picks that I thought were awesome. I love these little skelly hands, which would be so cute to add those like in here in the wreath. You could do that. You could take it a step further. They had a lot of different ones at Walmart, including skulls and pumpkins. Let me just give you a look-see. See, they had these black and silver pumpkins at Walmart. Super cool stuff. They even had some gray florals, orange florals. If you want to throw a pop of color into the wreath. They had these awesome black leaf bushes that would be fun to add into your wreath. Tilt this down so you can see it. To add into your wreath, this would be cool to add some of these into it. Of course, you've got the gray flowers if you wanted to do that. Kind of graveyard flowers is what I call them. Then if you really wanted to be really cool and you wanted to add just a pop of color and all of that, that would be cool. And these were really neat with a little bit of the black glitter. So they had a big, really cute option. I'm saving those because I'm going to make another Halloween wreath using this sign here, which I thought was cool. And it kind of goes with those orange and black florals. So again, I thank you so much for joining me. Hope to see you over on my other social media, Pinterest, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you make one, please don't hesitate to post yours. I'd love to see it on my page. And on my blog at sweetteamakery.com, I have a blog. And I'll be putting some handwritten instructions for this same video over on my blog as well. That'll take me a little more time to get that done, but it will be done. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.